Hello children. Today from Startup Science Grade 5 we will be discussing the first chapter, The World of Animals. We all know that life exists only on earth, isn't it? Earth is a place where we got variety of plants and animals. In today's lesson, we will be discussing only about the different types of animals and how these animals differ from each other in the food they eat, the different breathing organs, the mode of locomotion, and many other characteristics. Now we'll move on to the next slide, the keywords. The keywords are the topics which are being discussed in this chapter. So the keywords are as following: habitat, body covering, feeding habits, breathing organs in animals, spiracles, movement in animals, migration, and the last one is the locomotion. Now we will discuss each of these topics in detail. The first one is the habitat. Children, let me explain you the meaning of habitat with an example. Where does the fish live? Yes, it lives in the water. What happens if we take out the fish from the water? Obviously, it will die, na? So, the place where the fish live is water. So, the water becomes the habitat for the fish. Children, one more example is the camel. Camels live in the desert. So, desert becomes the habitat for the camel. Hence, habitat can be defined as a place where an animal lives or found naturally is called its habitat. There are 5 main habitats on our earth: forest, desert, polar region, ocean, and the last one is the freshwater. We have come across all these words in the lower classes, but we will study in detail about the habitats. Okay, so the first one will be the forest. Forest, we have all heard about this name forest, isn't it? So forest is a place where we can find many plants and varieties of trees which are very big and dense. So the forest becomes the house for all the wild animals, reptiles, and insects. So the forest provides shelter for these animals, and hence the forest is the habitat for the wild animal. The second habitat is the desert. Desert is a very dry and a sandy region. This is because they get very less rainfall, and the weather in the desert is so hot during the daytime, and also it is cold at the night. So mainly animals like camel, scorpion, bandicoot, desert tortoise live in the deserts. Bandicoots are a bigger version of the rat. We all have seen rat, isn't it? So a bigger size of the rat is only called as a bandicoot. And these animals have got a very special features. God has given them special features to live in this environment. Okay, if you have seen a camel, the camel has got a very thick skin on its body. You know why God has given it the thick skin? This is because to avoid the water loss through sweating. And some animals also can store the food and water in their body for many days. Okay, children, moving on to our next one, habitat is the polar region. Region means place. There are 2 poles, children, on the earth. One is the North Pole and the other one is the South Pole. So the places near these poles are only called as polar region. So the North Pole is called as Arctic and the South Pole is called as Antarctica. And in these regions, throughout the year, we can find that snow and ice is being covered. Why, any idea why throughout the year they have got snow and ice? This is because they receive very less sunlight. See, when we get sunlight only, the snow melts and the ice also melts, isn't it? But in this region, what happened? They receive very less sunlight, and that's why throughout the year they are being covered with snow and ice. And over here it is very cold, obviously, because lot of ice and snow, and it is very cold. So the animals like these polar bears, penguins and seals, we find these types of animals in this region. They have a body covering called the fur. Fur is a type of material, children. If you have seen this teddy bears, the teddy bears are normally made out of fur. So those type of body covering only these animals which living in the polar region have. So underneath these fur, they have got a very thick layer of fat which helps them to keep the body warm. And one more thing, in these region, if you have seen in the National Geography Channel and Discovery Channel, when we see these penguins, the penguins are always stay in group. This is because to protect themselves from the cold, they stay in the group. So moving on to our next habitat is the ocean. Children, ocean is a very vast body where of water. On earth, 70% of the earth is being made out of water, and only 30% we have got land on which we all exist, isn't it? And these ocean water is a home for many aquatic animals. And the water in this ocean is also very salty. If you would have been experienced the saltiness of the water if you have been played in a beach, when the waves comes and hit and we keep playing in the water, sometimes it happens that we would have been swallowed some water, so it tastes very salty, isn't it, which we do not like. But this saltiness is so much required for the aquatic animals which are living in the oceans. So we find many aquatic animals like whales, dolphins, seahorse and octopus. So their body is being so adapted to live in this salt water. So moving on to our last habitat is the fresh water. Fresh water are waters which we find naturally, like these ponds, lakes, rivers, streams. So these are the waters which we get naturally, and even we consume those water. Of course, even in these waters there is a small amount of dissolved salt present, but before it is being made to fit for drinking, it undergoes various processes like filtration and all, and during those processes these dissolved salts are being removed. Okay, but in these fresh waters only, many fishes, frogs, ducks and crane live, which becomes the habitat for all these animals. Children, our next topic is body covering. So body coverings are very important in animals because they keep the animals warm and dry. They protect them from physical danger also, and also helps them to hide from their enemies. So different animals have got different types of body covering as per their habitat. So in human being, the body covering becomes the skin. So we have got skin. So underneath the skin, we have got the flesh. So some of the body covering in animals are feathers, fur, scales and shell. So moving on to the first one is the feathers. So feathers means when we talk about feathers, the first thing which strikes into our mind is the birds, isn't it? Birds are always covered with feathers. So these feathers keeps them warm and protects them from moisture, and it also helps the birds in flying. The second one is the fur. As I told you, fur we find in the polar bear, sheep, we find this fur. So fur always keeps the body warm, and also it protects against the rain and cold. The third one is the scales. Scales are normally found in reptiles. Reptiles are animals which crawl on their bellies, okay, and they are cold-blooded animals. So most of the examples for reptiles are snakes, lizard, crocodiles. These are the animals which are having the scales on their body. Okay, these scales protects the underneath skin and also prevents the loss of water in some animals. And the last body covering is the shell. Children, shell is a very hard and a strong body covering which is normally found in the turtles and tortoises. See, this what happens, it protects these animals. In case a turtle or tortoise see any of his enemies coming, what it does, it draws his feet and head and covers it inside the shell so that it is not being identified by any other animals. So we come to the end of the body coverings. We'll move on to the next topic, feeding habits. Why do we need food, children? Food is required for growth and development of all the animals, isn't it? Okay, when we eat food, what happens? The food provides us energy, and because of energy we are able to do all our activities. So feeding habits differ from animals to animals. Okay, the feeding habits are being classified as herbivorous, carnivorous, omnivorous and scavengers. So the first one is the herbivorous. Herbivorous are the animals which eat only plants. Like a cow, goat and sheep, they eat only plants. These animals have got two pairs of teeth. One is the incisors and the other one is the molars. Okay, the incisors are the front and sharp teeth which helps in biting the food, whereas the molars and premolars are very broad teeth, okay, which helps in the chewing. The second one is the carnivorous. Animals that eat only flesh are called as carnivorous. Like these tigers, lion and cat, they only eat flesh, and that's why they are called as carnivorous. Even these animals have got canines, very sharp and pointed front teeth, which is called as canines, which helps them in tearing the flesh. If you have seen a cat, it is very much visible in the cat that front teeth which is very sharp and pointed. We can see it in the cat. And they also have molars which helps in chewing the flesh and the bones, because bones and all are very strong, no? So they need strong teeth to bite that flesh and the bones, and that's why they are having molars. The third one is the omnivorous. For best example for omnivorous is the human beings, because human beings eat both plants and animals. Plants are like our vegetables and greens what we consume, and flesh is that like the chicken, mutton or the fish what is being consumed by man. So the other examples for omnivorous are bear, crow and squirrel. Children, the last one is the scavengers. Scavengers are the animals which feed on dead or decay animals, are only called as scavengers. Children, what happens is these scavenger animals are like these vultures, hyena and wolf. They do not hunt. Okay. Now what happened when the lion hunts and it eats its food. When the lion hunts a deer, it eats enough of it, and the remaining it lives and it goes away. These animals like this vulture, wolf and hyena, they come and eat those food. Okay, so the scavengers plays an important role in maintaining balance in nature by preventing the accumulation of the dead bodies of the animals, isn't it? So they clear up, they eat it. If nobody eats it, what happens? It becomes the body becomes very rotten, and it starts smelling, and the whole atmosphere over there gets spoiled. So this is being avoided by these animals because they are consuming it. Okay, now we'll move on to the next one, the breathing organs in animals. Breathing is a very important process for all living things, isn't it? Okay, what happens during breathing? We inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. Oxygen is very necessary to break down the food what we eat, and that helps in releasing the energy, and the energy is being used to perform various activities. So there are various animals have got different breathing organs. Some of them are spiracles, gill and lungs. So the first one is the spiracles. So spiracle becomes a breathing organ in the insects. So insects have got an organ called as spiracles, which we find on the body surface of the insects, which are very small openings, children. It is a very small openings. This opening helps in the exchanging of the gases, and through that only they breathe. And the second one is the gills. Gills is a breathing organ which we found in almost all aquatic animals like fish, crab, tadpole, etc. So gills helps in absorbing the oxygen from the dissolved water. And the third one is the lungs. Lungs we find in reptiles, which I have already told you. Reptiles are like this: lizards, snakes, crocodiles, and then birds we know, and also in mammals. Mammals are the animals which give birth to young ones. Like, what is the baby of a dog called as? Kitten. Okay, and I'm sorry, dog. Okay, the mammals, they give birth to the young ones. Dogs give birth to puppies, and cat gives birth to kittens, isn't it? So they use those animals are called as mammals. Okay, they breathe through their lungs. So the function of the lung is to transport the oxygen which is being inhaled through our nose. We breathe through our nose, and that oxygen goes to the blood, and then blood streams, and then it releases carbon dioxide from the blood. Children, now we will talk about the movements in animals. What happens is animals move from one place to another place. So this movement is called as the locomotion. Okay. Why do the animals move from one place to another? They move from one place to another mainly for food, and the second one is for the shelter. And apart from that also, they move when there is any disasters happen, like any natural calamities happens, like earthquakes or floods, or where there is no rain. That time only the animal starts moving from one place to another. Okay, so we will see the movement of each animals, how they move from one place to another. So when we talk about the first one is the insects. Insects can move in various ways. They can walk, jump, fly, hop and crawl. So the butterflies and mosquitoes, they can fly because they have got two pairs of wings. Whereas the termites and lices move by crawling. And ants and cockroaches walk because they have got small legs. Okay, and grasshoppers hop using their hind legs. And then the second one is the reptiles. Reptiles are the animals like the lizards, snakes and crocodiles. Okay, so since these animals have got scales on their bodies, okay, this helps them in the moving. Okay, the tortoise and crocodiles have got legs, and they move using these legs, whereas the snakes, they have got scales on their body. So the scales and the muscles, they have got strong muscles also. This helps them to move from one place to another. Whereas turtles can swim, children, because they have got limbs. Okay, limbs are nothing but the legs, which helps them in the movement. And the third one is the birds. Birds can normally hop, walk, swim. And also fly. We have seen all of this, right? Okay. The forelimbs of the birds. The forelimbs of the birds have been modified in the form of wings, which helps them in flying. So most of the animals which fly, most of the birds which flies are sparrows, eagles, crow, pigeon are the common one which fly in the sky. But still some birds do not fly, like ostrich, kiwi, and emu. They do not fly because their body is very heavy and their wings are very weak, and that's why they cannot fly, and that's why they are called as flightless birds. Birds use their hind legs or the hind limbs or their legs to walk or catch the prey. Like birds like duck and swan and all, they have got webbed feet. If you see the leg of the duck, no, it will be little different. Okay, it is used for swimming. Okay, the okay children, the next topic I will be covering in the next class. So we will meet you in the next class.